Hi, good evening. Hi, Raghavan. Good evening. See, in my Telegram group, I shared with you TDS and TCS PDF. Please download that PDF so it will be handy when I'm explaining the concept. Have you downloaded this PDF? Hi, Varun. Good evening. We miss you yesterday. Yes, shall we start? It's okay, Varun. Turkish. Video is already there in my channel. You can watch yesterday's video. Before we start our session, today one of the chartered accountants who is eminent chartered accountant who brought so much of reputation to our fraternity, T.N. Manoharan sir, who is past president and who contributed enormously in taxation. For him, the government also awarded Padma. So I am very sad to hear that he passed away today morning. Today morning I am doing one live session. During that live session, I came to know it was very unfortunate. Our fraternity, chartered accountancy, lost one of them. So, paying condolences to him, let us hope his soul should rest in peace. So, for next 30 seconds, I also, whatever the activity that you are doing, please stop that activity and pay some silence for him. Let us all pray that his soul should rest in. Okay, now let us start with our session. Nobody is here eternally. One fine day, our day will also come. Then also we need to live apart. As long as we are there in this world, let's maintain decorum. Let's contribute to our country. And okay. Yes, we will start with TDS and TCS chapter. My dear students, there are certain sections relating to TDS which I will discuss in NR taxation. For example, there are sections 194E, TDS in case of non-resident sports association or non-resident entertainer or non-resident sports person. Section 195, TDS in case of non-resident. And 194 LB, 194 LC, 194 LD. These sections I will cover with you in NR taxation because I can do interlinking. I can tell the provision in NR taxation. Simultaneously, I can also discuss with you TDS provision. If I tell only TDS provision now, it will be half-half. Okay, it will be raw, uncooked, half-cooked. Okay, you may not understand. Next, I will also explain 196A, 196B, 196C, 196D, these sections in NR taxation. Next, there are some sections 194 LBA, 194 LBB, 194 LBC. These three sections I will explain in tomorrow's class. Tomorrow we will discuss about taxation of business trust, taxation of investment fund and taxation of securitization trust. With regard to those sections, these TDS provisions are applicable 194 LBA, 194 LBB, 194 LBC. On a standalone basis, if I discuss only TDS provision with you, you will not understand. So I will discuss taxation of business trust, taxation of investment fund, taxation of securitization trust. Simultaneously, I will also discuss 194 LBA, LBB, LBC. So when I explain along with that concept, you will understand the TDS provision better. So in today's class, other than these TDS sections, remaining all TDS sections I am going to cover. Are you able to understand? So shall we start now quickly? Everybody. So first we will discuss about section 192. When TDS is required to be deducted under section 192, whenever the amount paid, whenever the transaction is relating to salary, then TDS is required to be deducted under section 192. Generally, who will deduct TDS? Payer will deduct TDS before making payment to payee. So in this case, employer, before making salary payment to employee, employer is required to deduct TDS under section 192. Sir, at what rate TDS will be deducted? Generally, TDS will be deducted at average rate. You know average rate, right? Average rate means tax divided by total income into 100. That we call as average tax rate. Am I correct? Average tax rate. See, what we will do, what employer will do, employer will calculate total income of employee. Whatever the tax liability of employee is there, the tax liability he will deduct as TDS in 12 months. Are you able to understand? So before completion of previous year, entire tax liability is required to be deducted by employer in the form of TDS to employee. I will tell one example. Total income of employee is 20 lakhs. Let's say tax liability is 4 lakh rupees. What employer will do? 4 lakh divided by 12 months. How much it will be? 33,333. So every month 33,333 will be deducted as TDS before paying salary to the employee. Are you able to understand? So using slab rates, employer will calculate tax liability of employee. Whatever the tax liability is there, tax liability divided by total income into 100. You are going to get average rate. As per that average rate, employer will deduct TDS from employee. Now you will get many questions. Sir, whether at the time of calculation of income of employee, whether employer can adjust losses? Yes. If employee is having losses, employer can adjust those losses on net total income. Employer can calculate the tax liability. But only loss from house property can be considered by employer. If employee gives business loss is to be ignored. If employee gives capital loss, it needs to be ignored. If employee gives any loss, all the losses are to be ignored by employer. Only loss from house property will be considered by employer while calculating the average tax rate of employee. Are you able to understand? Next, only in case of salary, TDS is required to be deducted at the time of payment. Generally, TDS is required to be deducted on accrual basis or cash basis, whichever is earlier. But only in case of salary, TDS will be deducted only at the time of payment. In current previous year, no salary was paid to me. Employer will not deduct TDS. Employer will deduct TDS only if salary is actually paid. Only at the time of payment, TDS will be deducted. Next, let's say there is one coordinator, batch in charge. His salary is 20,000 rupees per month. How much will be his total income? He is having no income, no other incomes. So 20,000 into 12, 2,40,000. His salary is less than basic exemption limit. In that case, employer will not deduct TDS. So if total income of employee is less than basic exemption limit, TDS will not be deducted. Are you able to understand? Next, what employee will do? Employee will shift from one organization to another organization. If he shifts at the end of the year, not a problem. Or if he shifts at the beginning of the year, not a problem. But if he shifts from one company to another company in the middle of the previous year, in that case, whatever the salary details of older employer are there, if those details are submitted to new employer will also consider salary details of older employer in calculation of total income and calculation of TDS rate. Are you able to understand? So generally employer, sir, there are two tax regimes, default tax regime, optional tax regime. Generally, employer will deduct TDS under default tax rates. But if employee requests employer to deduct to calculate tax liability as per optional tax rates, then employer will calculate tax liability as per optional tax rates. But under optional tax rates, chapter 6 deductions, HRA, leave travel concession, many benefits employee can avail under optional tax rates. So whenever optional tax rates are there, in case of optional tax rates, employer, before giving exemption to employee, 4137 అని చెప్పు 37. So what I'm saying, yeah, under optional tax rates, before giving exemption, HRA exemption, or before giving chapter 6 deductions, ATC, ATD, employer should collect all the particulars from employee, keeping them as evidence. Then only employer is required to deduct TDS. Are you able to understand? Another important point, see, when employer is giving HRA exemption to employee, if the amount of rent paid by employee is more than 1 lakh rupees per annum, owner PAN number is also required to be taken. Are you able to understand? After taking owner PAN only, HRA exemption will be allowed by employer to the employee under optional tax rates, because in MCQs that can be asked. Okay, more than 1 lakh rupees rent paid by employee, in that case, PAN number of the owner will also be taken by employer and it will be disclosed while filing TDS return. So this is the concept relating to TDS under section 192. I hope you are clear with section 192. If you have any doubt, you can ask me. Clear? Good. You can see for allowing HRA allowance, if rent exceeds 1 lakh rupees, PAN of the landlord is required to be taken. For all other allowances, evidence of expenditure is to be taken. For allowing interest under income from house property, name, address and PAN of the lender is required to be taken. For chapter 6 deductions, evidence of expenditure is required to be. Section 192A. You know employee provident fund, right? From employee provident fund, if any amount is withdrawn by employee, At that time, TDS will be deducted by PF authorities. The point here is you would have studied in your CA inter salaries. In final, no faculty will discuss salaries, but I will give brief about it so that you will get an idea. If you have 5 years of continuous service, after 5 years of continuous service, if you withdraw amount from provident fund account, then TDS will not be deducted. But if you withdraw, why TDS will not be deducted after 5 years? If you withdraw money from recognized provident fund, it is not taxable to the employee. As it is not taxable to the employee, TDS is not required to be deducted. Are you able to understand? But before 5 years of continuous service, if employee withdraws money from recognized provident fund, then it is taxable to the employee. As it is taxable to the employee, provident fund authorities are required to deduct TDS under section 192A whenever there is premature withdrawal. Premature withdrawal means withdrawing PF amount before 5 years of continuous service. In that case, provident fund authorities will deduct TDS under section 192A. Are you able to understand? Now, sir, even like there is urgency, I do not have any money, I withdraw only nominal amount 10,000 rupees, 15,000 rupees. For that also TDS will be deducted? No. If you withdraw up to 49,999, no TDS will be deducted. But if you withdraw from recognized provident fund before 5 years, either 50,000 rupees or more than 50,000 rupees, TDS will be deducted. Sir, what is the rate of TDS? Rate of TDS is 10%. Are you able to understand? Even under section 192A also, TDS will be deducted only at the time of payment. Are you able to understand? Here, another important point is there. I worked in Infosys for 3 years. Afterwards, I shifted to TCS. In TCS, I worked for another 4 years. Now, independently, in Infosys, I worked for 3 years. In TCS, I worked for 4 years. Total 7 years I worked, but 3 years with organization 1, 4 years with organization 2. In this case, whenever I shift from one organization to another organization, if I also shift my PF account from Infosys to TCS, if I shift the account, recognized provident fund account, then I will be deemed as in continuous service for 5 years or more than 5 years. Are you able to understand? So very simple. Whenever employee is shifting from one organization to another organization, if employee shifts his provident fund account, then it will be deemed as employee is in continuous service only. Are you able to understand? Now, if I shift my account from Infosys to TDS, my total continuous service is 7 years, which is more than 5 years. So, no TDS is required to be deducted. Are you able to understand? Otherwise, if I do not transfer my PF account, then the service is getting braked. I worked in TCS for 4 years, which is less than 5 years. TDS will be deducted by PF authorities. Are you able to understand? There is some exceptions. Let's say I withdraw amount from recognized provident fund before 5 years of continuous service. The reason is because of ill health. See, I wanted to work in an organization, but my health is not supporting. So that's why I stopped my employment before 5 years of continuous service. Under that, so because of health reasons, if I stop employment, then TDS will not be deducted by PF authorities. Second reason, I am working in one organization from 4 years. In current year, that organization was closed. What can I do if employer closed the business? That's not my mistake, right? In that case also, if I withdraw money before 5 years of service, no TDS will be deducted. Are you able to understand? Section 193, interest on securities. So are you clear with 192A? Everybody? So today, very hectic session. Morning I took class for capital gains, CA Inter. Lengthy. Now again TDS and TCS. So shall I explain 193? Interest on securities. See, other than on government securities, if any interest is paid, on such interest, TDS is required to be deducted under section 193. For example, like company issued debentures, listed company issued bonds. Okay, before paying interest, TDS is required to be deducted. Who will deduct TDS? Any person who is paying interest will deduct TDS. Next, when only if interest is paid to resident, then only TDS is required to be deducted under section 193. If interest is paid to non-resident, then section 195 gets attracted. That's why only if interest payment is made to resident, then only TDS is required to be deducted under section 193. Sir, what is the rate of TDS? 10%. When TDS will be deducted, accrual or cash basis? The date on which interest entry is passed in books of accounts, or the date on which interest is actually paid, whichever is earlier. On that earlier date, TDS will be deducted. So very simple, date of entry in books of accounts or date of actual payment, whichever is earlier date is there, on that earlier date, TDS will be deducted. Are you able to understand? Let us see the note points. Under section 193, TDS is not required to be deducted in certain cases. What are those cases? No TDS if interest is paid to an individual or HUF on debentures issued by public company where interest does not exceed 5,000 and paid by account payee check. See, this is a lengthy sentence, complex. Let us simplify this. 4 conditions. TDS is not required to be deducted on payment of interest if 4 conditions are satisfied. Condition 1, interest is paid to individual or HUF. Are you able to understand? Next, second condition, on which securities interest is paid? Interest is paid on debentures issued by public company. Are you able to understand? Next, third condition, amount of interest should be less than 5,000. Such interest should be paid by way of bank transaction. If these 4 conditions are satisfied, no TDS is required to be deducted under section 193. Are you able to understand? So quickly, 4 conditions. What are the 4 conditions? Interest should be paid to individual or HUF. On which interest is to be paid? Interest is to be paid on debentures issued by public company. Amount of interest less than 5,000, interest paid by way of bank transaction. If all these 4 conditions are satisfied, no TDS is required to be deducted under section 193. Is it clear? To LIC, GIC or any other insurers. See, we will pay LIC premium na, or we will pay medical insurance premium. We will pay lot of amount to life insurance companies. What life insurance companies will do, whatever the amount collected from various insured people are there, all this money they will invest in shares or debentures of listed companies. They will invest entire this money in capital market. Now, whenever this entire money is invested in capital market, so let's say life insurance corporation, it collected money from all insurance holders, and it deposited money in, it purchased debentures of Reliance Industries Limited. Now Reliance Industries Limited will pay interest on debentures, right? On such interest, Reliance Industries Limited is not required to deduct TDS. So very simple thing, payee means what? The person to whom interest is paid. So if any interest is paid to LIC, GIC or any other insurance company, no TDS is required to be deducted under section 193 irrespective of threshold limit. Okay, whatever the amount, interest amount that is paid to LIC, GIC or any other insurance company, there no TDS is required to be deducted. Is it clear? On 7-year national savings certificates. So like you would have studied national savings certificates. If you purchase NSC certificates, whatever the amount that you invested in NSC certificates, it is eligible for deduction under section 80C. Okay, do you remember? but that the deduction is available only under optional tax rates. But the point here is, whenever you purchase national savings certificates, on that interest will be paid. On such interest, no TDS will be deducted under section 193. Next, on national development bonds, on bonds issued by Power Finance Corporation Limited, Indian Railway Finance Corporation Limited. Do you remember exemption under 54 EC? In morning class only I have explained. Do you remember 54 EC? What is the combination under 54 EC? Can anyone tell? Sir, bhul gaya. We forgot. Combination under 54 EC. Nobody remembers 54 EC. Not even one person. So unfortunate. Yeah, investing in bonds by selling immovable property to claim exemption. Perfect. See, whenever immovable property is transferred, on transfer of immovable property, capital gains will come now. If those capital gains are reinvested in NHAI bonds or RECL bonds, recent amendment, Power Finance Corporation Limited bonds or Indian Railway Finance Corporation Limited bonds. In these four bonds, if you make reinvestment, you can claim exemption under 54 EC, but maximum exemption allowed is 50 lakh rupees. Now, see, whenever you purchase Power Finance Corporation bonds or Indian Railway Finance Corporation bonds, on those bonds, you will be paid interest now. On such interest, no TDS will be deducted under section 193. Is it clear? On government securities, generally on government securities, if any interest is paid, no TDS will be deducted. Treasury bonds, treasury bills, whatever the government securities that are issued, on government securities, if any interest is paid, no TDS will be deducted except in these cases. That means in these cases, even though they are government securities, still TDS will be deducted under section 193. What are those securities? Interest on 8% savings taxable bonds 2003. I don't think they are in existence till now. 2003 means 20 years ago. Okay, but in Income Tax Act it was not removed. It is very old act. That's why Nirmalamma, she is attempting to bring Income Tax Act 2026 as soon as possible, ASAP. 7.75% savings taxable bonds. So remember one thing, savings taxable bonds. If any interest is paid on savings taxable bonds, then TDS is required to be deducted. Next, floating rate savings bonds 2020 with effect from 1st October 2024. This is also amendment made in Finance Act 2024. So in these three cases, whatever these three cases now, in these three cases, if amount of interest is less than or equal to 10,000, no TDS is required to be deducted. If amount of interest is more than 10,000 on above three securities, then TDS is required to be deducted. What I said? Let's come back. On government securities, no TDS is required to be deducted under section 193 except in three cases. Savings taxable bonds 2003, savings taxable bonds 2018, floating rate savings bonds 2020. This is with effect from 1st October 24. On these three government securities, if amount of interest is less than or equal to 10,000, no TDS. If amount of interest is more than 10,000, TDS is required to be deducted under section 193. Is it clear? So everybody clear with section 193? Tell. Actually, there is some time gap. I think more than 20 seconds time gap is there in between you and me. Next, we will discuss section 194, dividend. See, if any dividend is paid, generally on dividend, TDS will be deducted under section 194. But there is some threshold limit. You know threshold limit now. If there is threshold limit, up to threshold limit, no TDS will be deducted. If payment is more than threshold limit, then TDS will be deducted. Are you able to understand? So if amount of dividend paid is up to 5,000 rupees, in case dividend paid to individual by any mode other than cash in a previous year. That means what? Dividend is paid to individual, amount of dividend is less than 5,000 rupees or equal to 5,000 rupees, and the dividend is paid by way of bank transaction, then no TDS will be deducted. However, if amount of dividend is more than 5,000 rupees, even in case of individual or HUF, TDS will be deducted under section 194. Who will deduct TDS? The company which is paying dividend, it will deduct TDS. Only if dividend is paid to resident shareholder, then only 194 gets attracted. If dividend is paid to non-resident shareholder, then section 195 or other sections which will get attracted, section 194 will not get attracted. Rate of TDS 10%. When TDS will be deducted? At the time of payment. But if any dividend is paid to LIC, GIC or any other insurance company, no TDS will be deducted. So you can remember one thing, whenever interest or dividend is paid to LIC, GIC or any other insurance company, no TDS will be deducted under section 193 or section 194. Very simple. Payee, the person who is receiving the amount. If payee is LIC, GIC or any other insurance company, no TDS will be deducted under section 193 or 194. Next, section 194A. This is also a bit important, lengthy one but important. To the extent possible, I will try to finish TDS, but I don't want to compromise. Concept thoroughly I will revise. Section 194A, interest other than interest on securities. See, those who joined lately, if you want this PDF is available in my Telegram channel. You can download the PDF. So this will work as a navigation for the concepts that I am explaining. Okay. See, on securities, if any interest is paid, TDS is required to be deducted under section 193. Other than securities, other than on securities, if any interest is paid, TDS will be deducted under section 194A. Sir, other than on securities means, let's say you have done fixed deposit in SBI 20 lakh rupees. On 20 lakh rupees fixed deposit, interest will be paid to you now. Before paying that interest, TDS will be deducted under section 194A. So other than on securities, intercorporate loans are there. One company took loan from another company. Now the borrower will pay interest to another company, right? Before paying such interest, TDS will be deducted under section 194A. So other than on securities, if any other interest is paid on whatever the loans or borrowings is there, on such interest, TDS is required to be deducted under section 194A. Are you able to understand? But threshold limit is there. For normal citizens means what? Those individuals whose age is less than or equal to 60 years. They are called as normal citizens. For normal citizens, if amount of interest paid by bank is up to 40,000 rupees, in case of one or more fixed deposits, then no TDS will be deducted by bank. In case of senior citizens, up to 50,000 rupees. Senior citizen means what? When we call an individual as senior citizen, only if he is resident individual above greater than or equal to 60 years, we call as senior citizen. So that benefit, 50,000 benefit is available only for residents. Remember, see, non-resident aged more than 60 years, still threshold limit is 40,000 only. Are you able to understand? So senior citizen, very senior citizen. Like senior citizen means or very senior citizen means resident whose age is greater than or equal to 60 years or greater than or equal to 80 years. So whenever bank pays interest on fixed deposit or recurring deposit, whatever the interest that bank pays, okay, overall interest paid for all FDs, RDs together in a financial year, if it is more than 40,000 rupees in case of normal citizen, TDS will be deducted. If it is less than or equal to 40,000, no TDS will be deducted. In case of senior citizen or very senior citizen, if amount of interest paid is more than 50,000, then only TDS will be deducted. Otherwise, no TDS will be deducted. Is it clear? Next, Sir, 40,000 limit or 50,000 limit, is it per bank or is it per branch? If bank is having core banking solutions, then per bank. For all branches together, if amount of interest paid is more than 40,000, TDS will be deducted under section 194A. Are you able to understand? For example, let's say I went to one bank, Bandhan Bank. Okay, so it wants to create Bandhan with more customers, but customers are not there. Okay, so the name of the bank is Bandhan Bank. So in Bandhan Bank, I wanted to do fixed deposit. In Bandhan Bank, there is no core banking solution. It is a loophole to me. So I will invest in one Vijayawada branch of Bandhan Bank. I will also invest in Guntur branch of Bandhan Bank. I will invest in Hyderabad branch of Bandhan Bank. I will ensure in each branch amount of interest is less than 40,000 rupees, so no TDS will be deducted. So if core banking solution is not there, then per branch limit applicable is 40,000 or 50,000. If core banking solution is there, then per bank for all branches together limit applicable is 40,000 or 50. Is it clear? If interest is paid by any person other than bank, post office or cooperative bank, bank, post office, cooperative bank, they are paying interest. Threshold limit is 40,000 or 50,000. Other than bank, if any other person pays interest, threshold limit is 5,000 rupees. If interest paid is up to 5,000, no TDS. If interest paid is more than 5,000, TDS will be deducted under section 194A. Are you able to understand? So only if interest is paid to resident, then only TDS will be deducted under section 194A. If interest is paid to non-resident, other section will get attracted. Sir, what is the rate of TDS? Rate of TDS is 10%. When TDS will be deducted, accrual basis or cash basis? So at the time of entry in books of accounts or at the time of payment, whichever is earlier, TDS will be deducted. Next, sir, whether, let's say I am an individual, I am not having any money, I am not doing any business, I am not doing any profession, I am just having salary income. Am I also required to deduct TDS before paying interest to any borrower? That depends. Okay, so all payers are not required to deduct TDS. Only if payer is eligible payer under section 194A, then only TDS is required to be deducted. Otherwise, TDS is not required to be deducted. So for you, I simplified the provision. There are 5 sections: 194A, 194A, 194C, 194R, 194I, 194H. So in all these cases, if payer is, what are those cases? 194A, 194C, 194R, 194I, 194H. In all these cases, if payer is individual or HUF, if payer is other person, if payer is other persons, they are mandatorily required to deduct TDS. Mandatorily required to deduct TDS if payment is more than threshold limit. That's what na. If payment is less than threshold limit, no TDS is required to be deducted. Only if payment is more than threshold limit, then only TDS is required to be deducted by other persons. But if payment is made by individual or HUF, then there is classification. In case of that individual or HUF, in preceding financial year, if business turnover is less than or equal to 1 crore, or in profession, if gross receipts are less than or equal to 50 lakhs, then no TDS is required to be deducted. In preceding financial year, in business, if turnover is more than 1 crore, in profession, if gross receipts are more than 50 lakhs, then TDS is required to be deducted. TDS required to be deducted only if payment is more than 50 lakhs. Only if payment is more than 50 lakh rupees. Are you able to understand? Sir, how to remember these many sections? I have one logic for you. C, H, A, I, R. So 194 chair. Okay. Acronym is 194 chair. Easy. So in case of 194 chair, 194 CHAIR, in these cases, if payer is other than individual or HUF, mandatorily required to deduct TDS. If payer is individual or HUF, then we have to check in preceding financial year if business turnover is less than or equal to 1 crore, in profession gross receipts are less than or equal to 50 lakhs, no TDS. Otherwise, TDS is required to be deducted if payment crosses threshold. Is it clear? So this is 194A is not over. Exceptions are there. I need to discuss See, the section is very vast. Despite how much we discuss, still something is left. Okay. Ah. See, income tax department is saying any person who pays interest is required to deduct TDS under section 194A. Whenever there is refund na, income tax department will also pay interest kada. Interest on income tax refund. Whenever income tax department is paying interest on refund, it is not required to deduct TDS. It has written provision for its favor. So lawmakers have written provision in their favor. Whenever income tax department pays interest on income tax refund, no TDS is required to be deducted by department. Is it clear? Next, bank savings account. Let's say I deposited 1 crore in bank savings account. I forgot. Please don't think I am arrogant. It is just an example. I deposited 1 crore in savings account. I forgot. On 1 crore rupees, 4% interest, 4 lakh rupees is credited. 4 lakh is more than 40,000 or 50,000. Na, still no TDS will be deducted. Whatever the interest that is paid on savings bank account is there, on such interest, no TDS will be deducted. Next, interest paid to any bank, cooperative bank, LIC, UTI, any insurer, National Skill Development Fund, Housing and Urban Development Corporation. See, for these persons, if any interest is paid to LIC, GIC, any insurance company, National Skill Development Corporation, Housing and Urban Development Corporation, HUDCO, okay, Housing and Urban Development Corporation. For these 5 persons, if any interest is paid, no TDS is required to be deducted under section 194A. See, in one question, I think in PGBP question, interest was paid to non-banking financial company. Whenever interest is paid to NBFC, TDS is required to be deducted under section 194A. Normally, what student thinks NBFC is also bank na, so he will assume TDS is not required to be deducted. That's the exact point where you fall to the trap of ICAI. Whenever interest is paid to NBFC, my dear students, please remember TDS is required to be deducted under section 194A. Is it clear? TDS is collected from 1 crore income. I did not understand your question, Gopal. Okay, whatever the doubts that you have, please ask at the end of the session because I'm in flow. I need to complete as much as possible to TDS today. Okay, fine. Next, zero coupon bonds. You know zero coupon bonds, right? They are always issued at discount and are redeemed at par, redeemed at face value. So whenever interest is paid on zero coupon bonds, no TDS is required to be deducted. Sorry. Interest is not paid on zero coupon bonds. Like difference between face value and purchase price. That amount is the gain made by purchaser of zero coupon bonds. On that gain also, no TDS will be deducted. Next, interest paid by cooperative society other than cooperative bank to its members or any other cooperative society. What do you mean by this? Very simple. Cooperative society is there. It paid interest to another cooperative society or it paid interest to its members, its own members. On this interest, no TDS is required to be deducted by cooperative society. Okay, payer is not required to deduct any. Interest paid or credited by partnership firm to its partners. See, whenever partnership firm pays any interest to its partners, on such interest, no TDS is required to be deducted. This is as per Finance Act 2024. As per Finance Act 2025, amendment is there. Partnership firm also, before it pays interest to partner, partnership firm is required to deduct TDS. Okay. Oh, you are like, I wish you should clear in September 25 or January 26. So you will not study this amendment. But in worst case, if you are studying for May 2026, then I will explain the amendment. Whenever interest is paid by partnership firm to partner, on such interest, TDS is required as per Finance Act 2025. TDS is not required as per Finance Act 2024. Game over. What are you commenting? I am not understanding. Interest credited on compensation amount awarded by Motor Accidents Claim Tribunal. Credited means what? Accrual basis. What we discussed as per section 194A, TDS is required to be deducted on accrual basis or cash basis, whichever is earlier. Na? So, like Motor Accidents Claim Tribunal, it has declared the compensation more than 50,000 rupees. Then TDS is TDS is 1 second. Motor Accidents Claim Tribunal. On accrual basis, no TDS is required to be deducted. On payment basis, if payment is more than 50,000, then TDS is required to be deducted under section 194A. If payment is less than or equal to 50,000, then no TDS under section 194A. Are you able to understand? So, compensation paid by Motor Accidents Claim Tribunal on accrual basis. Whenever it declares compensation, no TDS is required to be deducted. Whenever it actually pays interest, if amount of interest is less than or equal to 50,000, no TDS. If amount of interest is more than 50,000, TDS is required to be deducted under section 194A. Is it clear? Next. 194A do not apply to fixed deposit made in the name of Registrar General of Court. See, if there is any disputed amount, that disputed amount will be deposited in the name of court till the judgment comes. After judgment comes, the disputed amount will be given to the SSC. Now, whatever the disputed amount that is deposited in the name of court is there, on that amount interest will be paid by bank. Na, on such interest no TDS is required to be deducted. So whenever interest is paid to court in the name of court, no TDS is required to be deducted. Next, in case of minor, generally in case of minor, like income will be clubbed in the hands of parents. So whenever TDS is required to be deducted in the hands of minor, generally PAN number of parents will be taken. In the name of PAN number of parents only TDS will be deducted. If such PAN number is not given, for minor PAN number will be applied, and in the name of minor only TDS will be deducted. Next, capital gains account scheme, you know, right, under section 54. Sir, can you tell the amendment once again? Which amendment? Which amendment, Raghavan? With regard to 194A, we did not discuss any amendment. No? Okay, you can ask me the amendment at the end of the class. Now, capital gains account scheme. See, like to claim exemption under 54, 54B, 54D, 54EC, before ITR due date only, I will invest some money in capital gains account scheme. Thereafter, I will use that money for purchase of house property or construction of house property. Whatever the amount deposited in capital gains account scheme, on that interest will be paid. Such interest, TDS will be deducted. But like if there is death of depositor, up to the date of death, whatever the interest paid on such interest, TDS will be deducted in the name of depositor who has died. On or after death, whoever his legal heir is there, in the name of legal heir, interest will be paid. On such interest, TDS will also be deducted in the name of legal heir. Is it clear? Next, section 194B. No, you are preparing for September 26. Okay, September 26, Jan 27. For you, Finance Act 2025 is applicable, which is right now used in the market. New Income Tax Act is not applicable. Finance Act 2025 is applicable. Okay. 194B, you know 194B na? Winning from lottery, betting, gambling, okay, crossword puzzles. Whenever section 115BB income is there, whenever 115BB income is paid, before paying such amount, TDS will be deducted under section 194B. However, if lottery income, betting income, gambling income is less than or equal to 10,000 in a financial year, no TDS will be deducted under section 194B. Payer, the person who is paying amount, he can be any person. Payee also any person, resident or non-resident. TDS rate of TDS is 30%. When TDS will be deducted at the time of payment. So till now we have come across three sections where TDS will be deducted at the time of payment. One is section 192, another one is section 192A, another one is section 194B. Are you able to understand? Next. See, winning is in cash. Happy. Whatever the amount is there, 30% will be deducted, 70% will be paid. However, if winning is not in the form of cash, winning is in the form of kind, then let's say there is a lottery. In lottery, I won one car, XUV 700, 25 lakh rupees. Before they hand over 25 lakh rupees car to me, they will ask me to deposit 30% to income tax department. So what I should do, 25 lakhs into 30%, 7,50,000 rupees I should pay to income tax. I should bring the challan and I should submit this challan to lottery organizer. After I submit this challan, then only he will give gift of XUV 700 worth 25 lakh rupees. So whenever winnings are in the form of kind, then whoever the winner is there, he is required to deposit 30% value of the gift to as a tax to the government, and he should produce challan to the organizer. Then only gift in kind will be released. Otherwise, gift in kind will not be released. Now, I said if you want, give XUV 700. Otherwise, I don't want XUV 700. Who will pay 7,50,000 rupees? Then organizer decided he only will pay TDS. So when organizer himself pays TDS, then we need to do gross up. On grossed up amount, TDS will be deducted. So generally 100 rupees, 30% is TDS, 70% is amount paid. Am I correct? So, but organizer himself wants to pay TDS. In that case, whatever 25 lakhs worth of car is there, it is assumed at 70% level and we need to do gross up. Whatever the gross up amount is there, on that gross up amount, TDS will be deducted. 25 lakhs divided by 70 into 100, 35 lakh 71,428 minus 25 lakh, 10 lakh 71,428. So whenever organizer himself wants to pay TDS, he is required to pay 10 lakh 71,428 as TDS. Are you able to understand? This is the concept. if prize money is paid in installments. See, you are earning lottery income, but total lottery income is not paid at one go. Lottery income was paid in installments. Then for each installment separately 30% TDS will be deducted. Is it clear? 194 BA, winnings from online games. Before I explain 194 BA, I will explain 194 BB, because 194 B, 194 BB both are same. 194 B is winning from lottery, betting, gambling, crossword puzzles, all any games of any sort, or whatever that is there under section 115 BB. Whatever income that is taxable under section 115 BB, all those incomes TDS will be deducted under section 194B, except winnings from horse races. So if there is any winning from horse races, on such winning, TDS will be deducted under section 194 BB. Sir, what is the rate of TDS? Same provision. If amount of winning is up to 10,000, no TDS. If amount of winning is more than 10,000, TDS will be deducted under section 194 BB. Rate of TDS 30%. Are you able to understand? When TDS will be deducted? TDS will be deducted at the time of payment. Sir, then lump sum amount. If lump sum amount is paid, on total lump sum amount TDS will be deducted. What's there in it? Only if it is paid in installments, then question arises whether TDS will be deducted on total amount or installment amount. In that case, TDS will be deducted only on installment amount. Is it clear? 194 BA, winnings from online games. Now, see, under section 194B, under section 194BB, threshold limit of 10,000 rupees is there. After COVID, many people are playing online games and they are making money. So Nirmalamma thought, why can't we levy tax on it? Why can't we deduct TDS in that case? So Nirmalamma came up with section, when whatever the winning from online gaming is there, on such winning also TDS will be deducted under section 194BA. Actually, 194 BA is large section. To explain 194 BA, I need one example. Only through example I can explain 194 BA. So that example I did not prepare, but in 2024, last year, for chartered accountant members, I spoke in one CPE seminar. I am the speaker there. I explained winning from online games, TDS on winning from online games and winning from online games. This section was introduced in Finance Act 2023. So I have that PPT with me. Using that PPT, I will explain you taxation of online gaming. Okay, so this is the PPT which I have prepared for seminar of members. See, generally seminar, if I give seminar for students, I will tell from scratch. I will tell from base. For members also, if I start from alphabets, okay, they will not show any interest. For members, we need to tell bullet points. Sir, okay, I will share this PDF with you also. If you want, you can see. Give me 1 second. I have shared the PDF in my Telegram group. You can download. So did you receive? Now, taxation of online gaming. Actually, it is PPT, but I converted PPT into PDF. Now I have to search for one unique color. I wanted white. Let's say TDS on winning from online games. Who will deduct TDS? Online gaming intermediary will deduct TDS. That means whoever the like Rummy Dream 11, whoever the online gaming intermediary is there, he will deduct TDS under section 194 BA. Are you able to understand? So when TDS will be deducted, TDS, see, I played one game, I made 40,000 rupees or I made 60,000 rupees. Whenever I win money, he will not deduct TDS. But whenever I withdraw money, then only he will deduct TDS under section 194 BA. Now, sir, I do not withdraw money during the previous year, then he will never deduct TDS? No, it is not like that. During previous year, whenever I withdraw money, TDS will be deducted under section 194 BA. If I do not withdraw money during the previous year, then at the end of the financial year, whatever the winnings that are there in my wallet are there, online gaming wallet are there, on that winnings, TDS will be deducted. So at the time of withdrawal, if you do not withdraw at the end of the financial year, TDS will be deducted under section 194 BA. Are you able to understand? So when you are withdrawing for the first time, TDS will be deducted. So when you are withdrawing for the first time, TDS will be deducted on net winnings. How to calculate net winnings? A minus B plus C. Okay, I know you will not understand anything. Sir, what are you talking? What A minus B plus C? Hold on, I will explain to you. So, are you able to see this slide? First year of joining the game. So, I request everyone to open this slide. First year of joining the game. Have you opened? Everybody, have you opened? Now, just let us go through this slide. I wanted to play Dream 11. Okay, so in Dream 11, joining bonus is 20,000 rupees. To encourage me to play Dream 11, he added 20,000 rupees to my wallet. But can I withdraw that 20,000 rupees? No, no, no. I cannot withdraw the 20,000 rupees. That 20,000 rupees is motivation to me. Okay, so using that 20,000 rupees, first I will play 2 games. Okay, then I will get tempted to it. Then I need to invest my own money and I should start playing Dream 11. Are you able to understand? So he initially gave me 20,000 rupees. But that 20,000 rupees is not withdraw. Like you cannot withdraw 20,000 rupees. Next, I deposited 10,000 rupees on June 1. Next, I played the game. I won 40,000 rupees. So initially I deposited 10,000. I won 40,000 rupees. So how much is the balance in my wallet? Balance in my wallet is 10,000 plus 40,000. 50,000 is the balance in my wallet. Now on September 1, I have withdrawn 20,000 rupees. How much I have withdrawn? 20,000 rupees. Now, sir, I am withdrawing 20,000 rupees, right? On 20,000 rupees, whether TDS will be deducted? Yes, TDS will be deducted. I will tell you one small logic. How much I deposited? 10,000 rupees. How much I won? 40,000 rupees. So, total 50,000 is my balance. Correct? How much I withdrawn? I have withdrawn 20,000 rupees. On 20,000 rupees, already this 10,000 was there na. 10,000 rupees. This 10,000 rupees was there na. So, I earned money, I paid taxes. After payment of taxes, whatever the left out money is there, I deposited left out money in my gaming wallet, 10,000 rupees. On this, I already paid tax na. Already tax was paid. So whatever balance 10,000 is there, on balance 10,000 rupees, TDS will be deducted. Are you able to understand? On balance 10,000 rupees, TDS will be deducted at the rate of 30%. Are you able to understand? So what he tells, A minus B plus C. What A means? Amount withdrawn from user account. How much amount I have withdrawn? 20,000 rupees. What B means? Aggregate amount of non-taxable deposit made till the time of such withdrawal. C means opening balance of user account at the beginning. See, this is the first year I am starting to play the game. So in first year, there will be no income, right? There will be no opening balance. Whatever I deposit, using that only I will do. But in second year, closing balance will be carried forwarded as opening balance. So opening balance is 0. But how much is the deposit that I have made? I made 10,000 rupees deposit na. So 10,000 rupees. Now formula is A minus B plus C. That means 20,000 minus 10,000 plus 0, which is 10,000 rupees. On 10,000 rupees, TDS is required to be deducted under section 194 BA. Are you able to understand? So did you understand the concept? Whenever you are withdrawing money from a online gaming wallet, for the first time if you are withdrawing, then TDS is required to be deducted on what amount? A minus B plus C. A means whatever the amount that you have withdrawn. B means whatever the amount that you have initially deposited. C means opening balance. So A minus B plus C, whatever the amount is there, on such amount TDS is required to be deducted under section 194 BA. This is the example which I explained to chartered accountants in Vijayawada chamber. The same example I am also explaining to you, final students. Okay. Now, shall I explain further? So till here you understood na? His balance is 50,000 rupees. Out of 50,000, how much he withdrawn? He has withdrawn 20,000 rupees. How much is balance left? 30,000 rupees. So his balance is 30,000. See, all these are, gambling. Initially you will get money. You will get tempted. You will play further. Then you will lose the money. Okay. So here he got 40,000 rupees. He withdrawn 20,000 rupees, balance 30,000 is there. He played second game. In second game, he lost total 30,000 was loss. Total 30,000 is in the air. It's gone. Okay. So, but he tempted. He wanted to play the game another time and he wanted to get back 30,000 rupees. So to play game, he should have money. He is not having any money in the wallet. So he again introduced 40,000 rupees in the wallet. So initially he deposited 10,000 rupees. Then he deposited 40,000 rupees. So total amount he deposited is 50,000 rupees. Are you able to understand? I hope you are able to see this. Now, so he deposited 40,000. He played third game. In third game, how much is loss? 36,000 is loss. So after 36,000 loss, how much is left? 40,000 is 4,000 is left. Okay. Now, in fourth game, how much he won? 6,000 rupees. Thereby balance increased to 10,000 rupees. On January 1, see, he earned 6,000 rupees. Now, from that 6,000 rupees, he has withdrawn 4,000 rupees. Are you able to understand? Now, what is the formula? On subsequent withdrawal, formula is A minus B plus C plus E. A means amount withdrawn. B means whatever the amount that he has deposited. C means opening balance. E means whatever the amount on which TDS was already deducted. Okay, let's plot this, you will understand. So on second withdrawal, TDS will be deducted on second withdrawal, TDS will be deducted on A minus B plus C plus E. A means what? Withdrawal amount. How much he has withdrawn? 6,000 rupees. Minus B means what? Amount he deposited. How much he deposited? Initially, he deposited 10,000 first. Then he deposited 40,000. So total deposit is 50,000. C means opening balance. Opening balance is 0. What E means? E means the amount on which TDS was already deducted. TDS was already deducted on 10,000 na. On this 10,000 already TDS was deducted. So 50,000 plus 10,000. So how much is balance? Wait, how much amount he has withdrawn? Initially he has withdrawn 20,000 na. He has withdrawn 20,000. So total amount withdrawn is 26,000. 26,000. That means from second withdrawal onwards, you have to do calculation cumulatively. 26,000 minus 60,000. How much is balance? 34,000 loss is there. Am I correct? Hold on, hold on. I am sorry. Here amount withdrawn is 4,000, not 6,000. How much he has withdrawn? 4,000. 24,000 he has withdrawn. So how much is lost? 36,000. So as like A minus B plus C is negative. If it is negative, it will be considered as 0. No TDS will be deducted. Are you able to understand? Minus 34,000. No TDS will be deducted. Next. At the end of financial year, net winnings at the end of financial year. I know this is revision class, but why I am explaining very clearly is this is recent amendment. Chances are there he can ask a question in final exam. From TDS TCS, 8 marks will come in the examination. We cannot expect if question is asked from 194 BA, definitely from this only, from this calculation only, he will ask question. He will not ask a theory question. Okay. Small mistake I made previously. Initially, he has withdrawn 20,000. Then second withdrawal, subsequent withdrawal is 4,000. So total withdrawal is 24,000. It is not 26,000. Closing balance. Closing balance is 6,000 rupees. At the end of the financial year also, whatever the closing balance is there, on that closing balance, TDS will be deducted. But what is the formula on net winnings at the end of the financial year? TDS will be deducted on A plus D minus B plus C plus E. What do you mean by D? D means closing balance. C means opening balance. D means closing balance. Okay. Now shall we plot? At the end of financial year, what is the rule? A plus D minus B plus C plus E. A means what? Total withdrawal. How much he has withdrawn? 20,000 he has withdrawn first time, 4,000 he has withdrawn second time. So total withdrawal is 24,000. D means closing balance. How much is closing balance? 6,000 minus B means amount deposited. How much he has deposited? Initially he has deposited 10,000. Later on he lost total money. Then he deposited 40,000. So total deposit made is 50,000 plus C. C means opening balance. This is the first year na. Opening balance is 0. E means amount on which TDS was already deducted earlier. Already on how much amount TDS was deducted? Earlier TDS was deducted on 10,000 rupees. Already on 10,000 rupees TDS was deducted na. So 10,000 rupees. ₹10,000. So how much is the calculation? 30,000 minus 60,000. 30,000 loss is there. As 30,000 loss is there, no TDS is required to be deducted at the end of the year. Are you able to understand? Crystal clear, sir. Yes. To prepare this PPT, I have done 3 night outs. Whenever amendment has come, he did not give any example. It was horrible. To frame the example only, it took so much of time. He just gave this A minus B plus C plus E. All these were given without example. So for framing the example, it took a lot of time for me. And whenever you are delivering lecture to chartered accountants, you need to be highly careful. Students, okay, they will listen, but if I say any mistake, sometimes students may ignore or they may accept. But chartered accountants, they are already in the field, they have knowledge. Whenever I am delivering to chartered accountants, it is very tough job. So to prepare this, it took a lot of time. So did you understand TDS on net winnings? So this is the concept. TDS on net winnings. That's why I am scared. Whenever any new act comes, whenever any amendment comes, first I have to study. It will take me a lot of time to digest, internalize, then I have to explain to you. Next, we will see 194C. Today it was so heavy. After the class, I should have minimum sleep of 6 to 7 hours. Now, 194C. This is also super section. Important section again. Whenever 194C is applicable in case of works contract. Sir, what do you mean by works contract? I will explain little later. But remember, when 194C gets attracted, 194C gets attracted whenever any payment is made for works contract. On such payment, TDS is required to be deducted under section 194C. So, generally, who will make payment? The person who is receiving the services will make payment. To whom payment is made? Payment is made to contractor or subcontractor. Okay. So, before making payment to contractor for works contract, TDS is required to be deducted under section 194C. Sir, is there any threshold limit? Yes. If individual payment to contractor is less than or equal to 30,000, no TDS is required to be deducted. If individual payment is more than 30,000 rupees, then TDS is required to be deducted under section 194C. Individual payment is less than 30,000 rupees. Then we will consider aggregate payments. If aggregate payments are less than or equal to 1 lakh, no TDS. If aggregate payments are more than 1 lakh, then TDS is required to be deducted under section 194C. Are you able to understand? Next. If contractor is resident in India, then only TDS is required to be deducted under section 194C. If contractor is non-resident, 195 gets attracted, 194C will not get attracted. 194C is applicable only in case of payment made to resident contractor. Is it clear? Next, payer, you know na, we have discussed cherry definition. The person who is making contract payment, if he is other than individual or HUF, mandatorily required to deduct TDS if payment crosses threshold limit. Are you able to understand? Next, if person who is making payment, if he is individual or HUF, then we have to check. In case of individual HUF, in preceding financial year, if business turnover is less than or equal to 1 crore, in profession, if gross receipts are less than or equal to 50 lakhs, no TDS. Otherwise, TDS is required to be deducted. That too only if payment crosses threshold limit. Is it clear? Sir, what is rate of TDS? If contractor is individual or HUF, rate of TDS is 1%. If contractor is other person, rate of TDS is 2%. When TDS will be deducted? At the time of entry in books of accounts or at the time of payment, whichever is higher. Do you know 44 AE? Flying, hiring or leasing of goods carriages. Those who are engaged in the business of flying, hiring or leasing of goods carriages, and if they are having up to 10 transport vehicles, they can choose 44 AE. So those who are engaged in 44 AE, if they give their PAN number to us, then we are not required to deduct TDS under section 194C. Next, if any amount is paid exclusively for personal purposes of individual or HUF, then also no TDS is required to be deducted. See, in last financial year, in my profession, gross receipts are more than 50 lakhs. In current year, I am making contract payment for my personal purpose. I am constructing one building. That building I am going to use for my residence. So whatever the building that I'm constructing, it is purely for my personal purpose. So whenever I make works contract payment exclusively for personal purpose, then no TDS is required to be deducted in case of individual or H2F. Now we need to see what works contract means. Oh, today whatever the sections that we are discussing, all those sections are qualitative sections. Okay. Uh, Works contract. I don't think so. Today we can finish TDS and TCS. So shall we plan another day also for TDS and TCS? Now, works contract. I will explain to you. See, what do you mean by works contract? I went to tailor shop. I purchased one white cloth. I took that white cloth. I told him I wanted white shirt. I wanted half hands. I wanted apple cut. I wanted two pockets. I gave my own specifications. As per the specifications given by me, tailor stitched the white shirt and gave the white shirt to me. Now, this is perfect example for works contract. If any raw material is taken from customer, using that raw material, work is done, finished good is produced, and finished good is given back to customer. This concept we call as works contract. Are you able to understand? Whenever works contract is done, TDS is required to be deducted under section 194C. I will tell second example. I went to one showroom. Tailor is also there. Tailor already he purchased cloth from third party. He stitched 100 white shirts. I reviewed each white shirt. Out of those 100 white shirts, I liked one white shirt. I purchased that one white shirt. Whenever I purchase white shirt, is it a works contract? It is not works contract. Are you able to understand? So whenever you purchase white shirt, it is not a works contract. No TDS is required to be deducted under section 194C. So I hope with this example, you got complete clarity about what works contract means and what sales contract means. In case of works contract, some raw material will be taken, work will be done, finished good will be given back to the customer. This is works contract. On works contract, TDS is required to be deducted under section 194C. On sale contract, no TDS is required to be deducted under section 194C. Do you know Mallamala Productions? Jabardast is there. Mallamala Productions. Now, what ETV will do? ETV, what it will do? ETV will give contract to Mallamala Productions. Dasara is coming. For Dasara, I wanted to conduct one event. I wanted these film stars. I wanted Vijay Devarkonda. I wanted Rashmika. Okay, he will tell whoever the actors, those are required to participate in Dasara event. Now what Mallamala Productions will do, it will bring all the actors, all the dance choreographers, it will shoot one content, whatever the content that is shot, that will be given to ETV. ETV will telecast that shoot. Now everything is prepared as per the customizations of ETV, right? This is also considered as works contract. Are you able to understand? Case 2. Mallamala Productions already have some serials. So ETV came, it came through, like it went through 3-4 serials, it selected one serial, it purchased one serial from Mallamala Productions. Now this is a sale contract. On sale contract, no TDS is required to be deducted under section 194C. Next, advertisement. You know Manmadudu movie, right? In Manmadudu movie, what is their profession? Like it is advertising company. Okay, so they will go to Paris for Revlon ad. You know, so like what many companies will do, they will get the advertisement shooting done. So they will endorse advertisement to one advertising agency. Advertising agency will prepare the concept, it will prepare ad shoot, and ad shoot will be telecasted in channels. So even for advertising also, if for any agency, if any contract is given, that contract will be called as works contract. Are you able to understand? Next, carriage of goods or passengers by any mode of transport other than by railways. Once Deloitte is there, you know Deloitte, right? So once what Deloitte did, it wanted to take all its staff on a vacation to Goa. Now, what Deloitte did, it did not book individual flight tickets. It has booked entire flight for Deloitte employees. Now, whenever it book entire flight, Indigo will customize. Indigo will schedule the flight whenever Deloitte wanted. Indigo will provide whatever the snacks that Deloitte wanted. That means what? You wanted to travel to some place. At that time, you have booked one transport, you have booked one bus, or you have booked one plane, or you have booked one rail. Okay, so whenever you book a rail, like everything will be customized to you. At what time you wanted journey to start, at the time only it will start. At what time you wanted to reach the destination, at the time only you will be dropped there. Whatever you wanted on board, everything will be provided, everything will be customized as per your request. Now this is also called as works contract. What many students will think, many students will confuse between works contract and rent contract. I will tell. Let's say I wanted to take all the students to Kulu and Manali. I booked one bus. Whenever I book bus, student will tell, sir, you took bus on rent. No, I did not take bus on rent. Whatever the petrol is there, entire petrol will be taken care by uh, owner of the bus. Whatever the toll, entire toll will be taken care by owner of the bus. Next, entire cleaning of the bus will be taken care by owner of the bus. I will get into the bus, I will go there, I will get down, again I will come to my own place. That means what? Here you cannot call as rent contract, because like I am not taking bus on rent. Driver and petrol, tolls, cleaner, everything is provided by the owner of the bus. Now this is works contract. In this works contract also, if any payment is made, TDS is required to be deducted under section 194C. Next, catering. You know, right? Let's say there is my office. For example, in my office, 50 staff are there. That much staff are not there, hardly 3, 4. 50 staff are there. I decided everything. I told to my employees, every day food will be provided in the office in the afternoon. So what I told, I went to Kakatiya Mess. I told Kakatiya Mess, every day you should supply food to my office for 50 people. I told one curry should be there, dal should be there, one chutney should be there. I gave my menu. As per that menu, he is supplying the food. Now, as per my customizations, he is supplying the food. For that, I need to make payment for catering contract. For that also, TDS is required to be deducted under section 194C, because catering contract is also a works contract. Are you able to understand? Manufacturer or supplying a product according to requirement of a customer. So according to requirement of a customer, if any product is manufactured, TDS is required to be deducted under section 194C. It amounts to works contract. Excluding manufacturing or supplying a product as per requirement or specification of a customer by using the raw material purchased from any person other than such customer or his associate, exception construction contract. What do you mean by this? Normally, if you take goods from customer, if you customize and give it to the customer, it amounts to works contract. But in case of construction contract, let's say I wanted to construct 3 floors building. I asked builder to come to my place. I told builder I wanted 3 floors, each floor 3 BHK. I told my customizations. I said I will not purchase any brick. I will not purchase any cements. I will not purchase any painting. Everything you need to purchase, you need to construct 3 floors building and you need to hand over that building to me. Now tell me how much is the contract amount, I said. Here, am I supplying any raw material? I am not supplying any raw material. But everything is purchased by builder and he constructed the building and he gave the building to me. Are you able to understand? Here, even though raw material is not supplied by customer, still that construction contract will amount to works contract and TDS is required to be deducted under section 194C. Are you able to understand? Normally, whenever raw material is taken and customized and given back to customer, then only it is treated as works contract. In case of construction contract, even though raw material is not taken, okay, still it will amount to works contract and TDS is required to be deducted. I hope you understood this point. Did you understand? Next, TDS will be deducted on taxable value. That means before GST, whatever the value is there, on such amount, TDS will be deducted under section 194C. Next, in case of owner or seller of natural gas sells as well as transports the gas to the purchaser till the point of delivery, no TDS will be deducted under section 194C. Let's say I purchased a gas cylinder. Cost is 800 rupees. Transportation charges 100 rupees. See, he is bringing cylinder from gas company to my home, right? So transportation charges are 100 rupees. Total amount is 900 rupees. Now my question is, on this 100 rupees, whether TDS is required to be deducted under section 194C? Answer is no. No TDS is required to be deducted, because whatever transportation service is there, it is ancillary service. Main service is supply of gas cylinder, sale of gas cylinder. So it amounts to sale contract. So this example you read on your own, you will understand, not a problem at all. Uh, so did you understand 194C important section? Are everyone clear? So can you come in the morning? If possible, can you attend class in the morning for tomorrow only, TDS TCS? Because today I got so much, I got exhausted like anything. Tomorrow morning, can you join? If I keep class at 8 o'clock, or if I keep class at 9 a.m., can you join 9 a.m.? After having breakfast, can you join at 9 a.m.? For tomorrow, please adjust, because I'm running out of energy. Varun, you go to office now, can you attend at 9 a.m.? 9 is fine. So 9 to 10:30 or max 1.5 hour is sufficient. Remaining sections, simple sections only. 194J is, it will take some more time. Remaining all sections, simple sections. 9 a.m. is okay. So for today, I will wind up till here. Tomorrow 9 to 10:30, I will discuss balance TDS part. Tomorrow evening, advanced tax part also is there. Okay. That part also I will discuss. Because tomorrow is Thursday, na? On Friday, Saturday, Sunday I cannot tell. On Friday, Saturday lecture is not there. I need to go to my relative's place. Yeah. Thank you, Monish. So I will wind up today here. Thank you so much for your support. Let's meet again tomorrow morning at the rate 9 a.m. Thank you. Good night. Have proper food. Have proper sleep. Minimum 6 hours sleep is required. Don't skip 6 hours of sleep. Thank you. Bye. Good night.